Good morning. Excited that we have made it to game week, and it's been a great offseason. Really been pleased with the growth and development of our team, from winter workouts, spring ball, summer program, and fall camp, and there's a lot of excitement around our football program. Some new faces, a new opportunity, guys that will be getting their first experience in Doak Campbell Stadium here on Sunday, and really, it's going to be a first experience for the majority of our guys for a sold-out, packed Doak Campbell Stadium, and that's something we're all excited about. It's going to be a tremendous atmosphere. It's going to be a tremendous showcase for our program, and it's an opportunity to give a first impression of what this 21 Florida State football team's identity truly is. And there's a lot of work to be done throughout the course of the week. We're continuing to put the finishing touches on a game plan, and the different personnel groupings and things that who's going to get the opportunity to go out there and showcase their skill set, and playing against a top 10 national power, a team program that has been very consistent in high standard of play, very well coached. They've got new faces. They've got a new coaching, a new defensive coordinator that's going to implement different schemes than what they've done in the past. And we're excited about the challenge that's ahead. And for us, it's just a continued focus on our growth, our development, and to go out there and be as consistent as we possibly can be, here in week one. So with that, open up to questions.
First one will be Ira, over here, right?
You mentioned Notre Dame's new defensive coordinator, and you've gone up against him before. When you face new coordinators at a school, do you try to play the chess match of what would they do with this personnel, or do they usually stay true to what they do?
I think there's going to be a fair balance with that, and we went against each other a couple of years ago. I mean, the personnel's totally different, probably on both sides, and great coaches are going to adapt and adjust to the personnel that they have. Obviously you're going to see probably the focus of some of the things that he's implemented there in the past at Cincinnati, but also playing to the personnel that he has there at Notre Dame. And this is a talented group. It definitely has experience and sprinkled all throughout the defense. Guys that play hard, that play fast, and and he's going to bring an attack style mentality. And I think I mentioned, on the radio show and just throughout the last week. I mean, this is one of the best defensive coordinators in college football. His defense have always performed very well, and it's going to be a great challenge for our guys. Not totally knowing exactly what to expect, but we're going to have to adapt and adjust on the run as we get into the game.
All right, we're good. We'll go back to Ira.
Notre Dame's obviously lost some pieces from last year, but that defensive line looks like it's going to be a great challenge. What do you see from them? Is there anything specifically you could talk about the challenges they present?
Yeah, I mean, they got great length. Play extremely hard. A physical bunch up front. Coupled with what Coach Freeman has shown to do with different movements and the way that he is able to disguise some of the ways that he's going to be able to bring pressure, whether it's blitzing linebackers or different run stunts up front. He does a great job with his disguises. I'm expecting multiple fronts, to be able to jump in and out of three and four down sets, and I think they've got really good depth, and they've got guys that have great experience that have been productive throughout their careers there at Notre Dame. So this is going to be a great challenge for our guys up front, and it's going to take a great effort.
Next will be Kurt in the front row here, right?
Another new piece for them. Now, I guess not new to college football, but new for them is the quarterback, Jack Cohn. I guess, what have you seen from him, and how do you anticipate they might use him differently than kind of how Wisconsin did?
I mean, he's a very talented player, and he's had great success. You look at the success he had at Wisconsin. He's played in big games. He's played in probably adverse atmospheres. Being in the Big Ten. during his time there, and he was out this last season due to injury. But the thing that you hear coming out of Notre Dame is just how consistent, how accurate, the game manager that he is, and he's making guys around him better. So we know that this is not he's a new starter at Notre Dame, but he's got a lot of very productive collegiate experience, and he's gonna do a great job for them, and we've got to try to make him uncomfortable with what we do and obviously how we attack.
In preparing for Cone, how much do you go back and look at what he did at Wisconsin versus studying what Notre Dame does tendency-wise as an offense?
It's a little bit of a balance. You try to look at a guy, and plus it's not just his time at Wisconsin, but that was a few years back as well. And so we're gonna get our best sense of him as a player. So we will look back, and that's the good thing about being in week one is we do have more time, and we've had time throughout the summer to be able to look at those things. But you also try to put a balance to Notre Dame and who they are, what they're all about. It's a very versatile offense in how they attack, and so when you look at the run game, the passing game, the different ways that they're going to try to move him around, and they can do just about all, and so it's going to be a great challenge, and we have looked at all of it and getting the best sense of what to expect.
Travis J, Corey Wren, Ja'Kai Douglas all listed as kickoff returners for you guys. Can you talk a little bit about that group and collectively the skill sets that they bring to the table there?
Yeah, all very explosive players. Guys that I think have home run hitting capabilities. That is a unit that has to be better for us this year, and it's something that throughout my coaching career, we put a lot of time and emphasis in the development of our return units, and we've seen great production over the years, and that's something that our guys have really bought into. We know that this week is going to be one of our biggest challenges. Notre Dame is traditionally great on their kickoff coverage units, and they have guys that play extremely hard. A lot of returning players that we saw this past year, and so but I think those returners and the buy-in that we're having with our guys from a special teams perspective. I mean, it's something that we need to be very productive in.
Go back to Chris.
Sticking with special teams, Ryan earned the kicking job according to the depth chart. What did he do in the preseason? What's been the growth with him just in the sense of being more consistent?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hitting right on that. I mean, just the consistency. Ryan's a very talented young man, has a strong leg, but I think he's had a great camp, and we put him in a lot of challenging situations, and he's just continued to respond. He's day in and day out. He's in a great place, and we've got all the confidence in the world in him and what he's going to be able to do, as our kicker.
Go back to Ira.
Back earlier in the summer, you talked about, you wouldn't be against using two quarterbacks if you thought it helped the team win. Now that you've seen them both and how they operate, do you think that's going to be the case throughout the season, or how do you envision the quarterback situation playing out?
Well, I'm really excited about that quarterback room and the competition that we have. The versatility of skill sets that which these guys bring. But we're always going to explore each opportunity of how we can put our playmakers in a position to be able to shine in a variety of different ways. And so I'm excited about that room and what they bring to this offense.
You talked last night on the radio show about, I think you said 8 guys on the offensive line you feel good that can help y'all win games. I guess, how do you feel about that group? How much better do you feel relative to a year ago?
Well, they've really grown, and not only have they grown physically, but just with their confidence in the mental aspect of it. And it's something we put a real emphasis on is just in that consistency of being where you're supposed to be, making sure that we're making the right calls, we're playing with our eyes, eliminating some of the mental mistakes that showed up at times that that create some of those negatives, and that's something that we can't have. We got to be able to play ahead of the chains. There offensively, it allows us to be more aggressive. It allows us to really kind of get the full gambit of what we want to do offensively, and so those 5 guys up front, they have to be consistent and play with the right mentality. And you look at the experience that we have in that group, whether it's some of the guys that are younger in their college career, and guys even that have played a lot of football that I feel can be a 6th, 7th, or 8th guy that can get in the game and help us be productive. So it's still a lot of competition that's that's showing up day in and day out at practice. But I feel much better than where we were even a year ago, just with the depth that we have and the talent that we have up front.
Mike, with the depth chart we got out, linebacker Kalen DeLoach, DJ Lundy, 2 guys that are up there, don't have a ton of college experience. So what did you see from those guys in camp that elevated them to be starters?
I mean, just the consistency in play, the mentality of how. How they have grown in all ways. I mean, from a physical development to the physicality, play in and play out, and just a relentless pursuit to what we're trying to accomplish defensively. And you got guys like Steven Dix, who's played a lot of football. That I feel is going to be a very productive player for us as well. But as you're sitting there and you compete day in and day out, you're looking for the consistency. You're looking for guys that are able to make plays and that are making plays in space. There are guys that are able to go sideline to sideline, but also just put that the toughness and just relentlessness, with their in between the tackles as well, and that's what I think. DJ, Kalen, really all those linebackers have been pushing to do, and I'm excited about what they all bring, and really the development of Amari and how he's continued to grow and the versatility that he shows. I'm excited about the steps that have been taken by that linebacker group.
You mentioned some of the reasons there's a lot of excitement going into this game with the full crowd and top 10 opponent. What are things you as a coaching staff can do to try to make sure that the players don't exert too much energy in the hours and days leading up to the game?
It's about taking care of the one play that's in front of us, and there is going to be a lot of emotion. I mean, there's something that we embrace. I want them to be emotional. I want them to have passion. I want them to have energy. But it's everybody can have a great plan as they go into it. But there's going to be moments that show up Sunday night where you might get knocked down on your butt. And you got to be able to get up. You got to be able to stay focused. You got to make sure that each play, that you don't let the atmosphere, you don't let the environment distract you from what your job is, and make sure you're playing with great technique, great fundamentals, and then being able to respond to the good and being able to respond to the bad. And that's where the consistency has to show up for our team. We are an emotional group, and that can be a really good thing. But at times it can also almost hinder you for what you're trying to accomplish. And so it's as we go through our fall camp, we talked about why do you go to Jacksonville? Why do you put your guys in different situations? Because I want them to be able to be confident in a response, especially when they cannot control what's going on around them. And so Sunday night, we need a great crowd. We need a great atmosphere. And our guys, it's about just the play that's in front of them. And not to get carried away or distracted by the things that are on the outside. And so I think they're embracing that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go and implement that throughout the course of the game.
For McKenzie, it's been such a long road, arduous road for him back, 5 days away, I guess, from the opener. Do you sense that he's at peace with where he's at and what your plan is for him? Yeah,
he's really excited, and it's fun. It's just fun seeing him as he's getting into game week, and an opportunity that's in front of us, and it's going to be a special moment. It's a special moment for him. All the work that's gone into it, being able to get to this point. The way that he's since January come into this team and really been able to invest in his teammates, and he's had to learn a new language. He's had to learn a new offense. He's really adapted well, and I think he's made not only the quarterback room, but made this football team better. And Sunday night's going to be special for him. And I'm excited about what he brings and what the future is going to hold as he continues on this path for this season that's ahead.
Coach, we've been able to talk to you since Sunday. You had the dress rehearsal, and we saw the video of Dennis Briggs breaking the rock, and he came out as a first teamer. I mean, you've talked about him a lot during the preseason camp, but really to get to that level, what has he done that's been so special the last few weeks?
I mean, he just worked, man. I mean, he's worked in every way. The guy that came in was a defensive end when he first got here. Has made the transition. You look back to last season, and Dennis didn't play the first part of the year. Was actually an early opt out. Decided to come back and rejoin the team. Playing a new position. And he played interior on the interior line, and so was still trying to kind of figure that out. Through the spring, the work he did with Coach Storms in the weight room, and then watching him, probably one of the most consistent performers we had in fall camp. I mean, just the energy, the effort, playing with technique, and just a very disruptive force. When he was out there, and so I thought it was a well-earned accolade for him to be able to break that rock, and just the symbolic approach of what it is just to continue to get better, and that's what he's done. And I'm excited about what this year can hold for Dennis. He's a man of very few words, and even there Sunday night didn't have much to say, but just thanking his teammates for what they mean to him, and the growth of that he's had. He attributes that to that support that he has around him from coaches and players involved, and so I'm looking forward to great things for Dennis this year.
We'll go to Ira.
Notre Dame obviously has really good backs, but traditionally that program has just run the ball exceptionally well. What is it about programs like that, and is it anything they do differently? Is it the commitment to the run? What makes the running game so special?
I think it's both. I mean, they're very well coached. I mean, they know what they're trying to accomplish when it comes to to the run game, and it starts up front, and then when you have that coupled with great tight ends and running backs that run with a true purpose, I mean, it's a challenge to stop. And so we know that going into this week, we're going to have to do a great job up front. We're going to have to fight. We're going to have to do everything that we can, not only to be in our gaps, but to make sure that you win them when you get there. And that's where when you add talented backs, and Notre Dame has going into this year, I think that's going to be one of the strengths of their team. Having multiple backs, fully expecting to see some 2-back sets, being able to have multiple guys on the field at one time because of the versatility of what they show. But you also get to see that with just the overall toughness that's within the program, and that's something that we aspire to be, and that we aspire to have as well. So it's something that we're definitely pushing forward to, that consistency, so that can be a year in and year out trademark of this Florida State team.
We'll go to the back for Ryan.
Coach, yesterday, Coach Kelly said that he earned a lot of respect for your squad when you two played in South Bend last year. Do you feel like you learned anything about your program after that game?
I was obviously disappointed in the outcome, but I was pleased with the way that our guys competed, and that's something that coming into the program last year, we have to be more consistent in the overall way that we compete, and start to finish, good times and in bad times, and I thought our guys did that last year in South Bend. We still it showed up where we had some mistakes that put us in a position where we weren't able to beat a really good team, and and that's something that we've got to eliminate, and effort has to be the minimum standard. I mean, the minimum expectation, and and for us, I mean, I'm pleased with what I've seen through the off season, through the summer workouts, and just how we've attacked the work that is necessary, so we can go out there and play to the best of our ability, and to play with great effort and a relentless pursuit. And when you do that, if you can then be consistent in your performance with your technique and fundamentals, you're going to give yourself a great chance to be successful. So yes, I was pleased with how we competed, but it's time to take the next step from that.
Next will be Bob on your left.
Hey, Coach, curious about the vaccination rate for the team now. Are you at 85%? How close are you? And then I guess as a follow-up, Dr. Myron Roll has spoken to the team. Dr. McCullough, you've had other people speak. What kind of message have they delivered to your players as far as encouraging them to get educated, get vaccinated?
Well, I mean, I'll say that we are over 90% of our team that have started the process of towards full vaccination. I will put that out there. We're getting closer every day. When it comes to that, and I appreciate Dr. Meyer Roll. I mean, everybody, and all the different people that have come and spoke to our team. And for us, it's about providing education. And these are 18 to 22-year-old young men that when you with all decisions, just trying to provide them the information that is necessary for them to feel confident in any decision that they make. And so, I'm grateful for that. And, obviously we're well on our way, and, we're going to continue on with that process of making sure guys are being safe and putting ourselves in the best position to go out there and play this game.
I've got time for a couple more. We'll go to Ira. Oh, sorry. We're going to go to Avalon. I got over.
I needed time to stall to think what my question was going to be. But Coach, just for you last season, I know we talk about how odd of a season it was, but how much you kind of learned about your team. How much do you think Jordan learned about playing the position of quarterback last year, and just how much better off is he now, having gone through last year, and what sort of changes have you seen him in terms of processing things and talking to you guys between reps at practice, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, you look back to last year, and really, it's almost unfair to judge Jordan off of that season. I mean, he missed all of fall camp. I think the first time he practiced was the week one, going into the first week. And so, really with all the opportunities, he was really kind of just thrown into it. And, I think he was available for maybe 5 games last year, and it just was such a limited basis of being able to get a rhythm, to understand, the fundamentals, techniques of what we try to do offensively from a timing aspect. He's a great talent. And, but now you fast forward that, to have a complete offseason, to have spring practice, to have a fall camp. I mean, he's growing each and every day, and I think he's an incredible quarterback. I think he's got a great future in front of him as he's gaining in that confidence. And it's anybody that watched the spring game and you see the steps that he's taken as a player. I mean, he's invested, and I'm excited about Jordan's future and just what he means to this program, and just that continued growth.
We've heard a lot from the players about the leadership from guys like Keir Thomas and Jermaine and some of these transfers that came in. Did you know that was part of what you were getting in those guys, and how beneficial has that been?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a necessity, and guys that we were bringing in. As you go and the youth of our team, I mean, I really like this team. I like the guys that we have, the character that they have, the passion that they have. But a lot of them haven't necessarily, had the example of in front with just all the change that we've experienced within our program. It's been different. It's changed, and so for any player that we brought in, it was important that they knew that yes, the production on the field, the skill set that they bring, that's important. But, I wasn't going to bring somebody into the program that didn't embody the characteristics of what it is to be a Florida State Seminole, and with the work ethic, with the importance of relationships, and being able to make those around you better. I mean, it was something that was talked about with all of every person that came into the program. Is something that I was going to expect, and they're still learning a new way of operating as they come here and around our coaching staff, and just the way that we work day to day. But they've embraced that, and it's a joy to for me to be able to see guys that. As they come in, we're coaching. We coach hard, and we push hard, and we challenge those top players. But to see them receive that coaching, and then be able to encourage some of the young guys as they're growing and developing, it's that's what you want to see within a team. And I like the relationships that I've seen build within this team. I thought even in fall camp, guys that only been here for a short period of time, just how they kind of embraced that mindset, and as these guys have come together, I mean, that's going to be a critical factor for us this fall. And we know there's going to be some great moments that are going to show up Sunday night, and there's going to be some hard moments that are going to show up Sunday night. But when you have a team that comes together, you're going to be able to respond and put yourself in a position to achieve success. And that's what we need. All right, guys, thanks so much.